G'day, I'm Glenn Morris from the Smart Energy Lab, and today I want to bust a few myths. You could say a bit of BS has been put out there about the Sage and Store system. Now, this is my home and this is my Sage and Store system. We installed it when the first one arrived in Australia and we were super excited. But I've heard some YouTubers say things like, oh, the plastic covers are no good, they're going to fail, there's exposed cables, you haven't got proper cable protection. They even query the company. So I kind of wanted to address a few of those. And how am I going to do that? Well, I went and asked SIG Energy themselves. I said, you guys, I've got some questions for you because look, I need to know this too as the end user. I'm also an installer, so I love the product, but I want to be confident that the product's good. So let's start with plastic cover durability. Now, there was this YouTuber, he said the plastic covers only had a 2-year warranty. So I reached out to SIG Energy and I said, well, in fact, I sent them a list of questions, and one of them was this. They said, nah. The plastic covers are covered as part of the warranty of the whole Sage and Store system, this system behind me. So that's BS. It's got a 10-year warranty on the plastic covers. In fact, you can read on their website all the details around the warranty if you want to burrow down into it. Well, there's a few more things I want to talk about. This YouTuber mentioned the plastic covers, but he also mentioned the LEDs and said that this whole system is fragile. It's not going to last being out in the weather. Well, the decorative covers do come with a 10-year warranty, but there is a 2-year warranty that applies to the LED strips. Now, that's not unusual. Most appliances, like fridges to circuit breakers, they all have like a 1 to 2 year warranty on trims, LEDs, and other non-critical parts. Now, that's the key thing. It's a non-critical part. If your LED's not working, your system's still working fine. In fact, you can monitor it perfectly okay from the app anyway. But the core battery and inverter system is completely covered by a full 10-year warranty. So let's say that's what really matters. They also said that the multi-pin connector isn't UV stable. Well, actually, it's behind a cover. It's not exposed to direct sunlight. It's actually within the appliance itself. So yeah, it's once it's connected, it's fully enclosed and connected inside the housing. So there's no exposure to environmental conditions. Okay, let's talk about the covers again, but this time about the cover, or I should say the colour or the treatment of the plastic covers. Now, these are not spray painted as was mentioned in a video. These are moulded plastic and they're designed to last 25 years. So this product's got a really long design life. The warranty, 10 years, but the design life for things like the covers is 25 years. Now, how do they know that? Well, they have environmental test chambers. In fact, I've been to their factory in Shanghai and I've seen the environmental testing. They've even got some inverters which are continuously showered with water in a harsh environment. So they tested these covers and they gave them 2,000 hours of high temperature and high humidity. That's 60 degrees Celsius, 93% humidity. 1,500 cycles with swings from -40 to 65, so that covers most of the places that people might live. And after these tests, the covers showed no colour changes. They remained fully functional and the structure was fully intact. They performed these tests twice, once during the early product development and again from randomly selected samples to make sure that, once they start manufacturing, everything is still the same. And additionally, they carried out 40 cycles of solar exposure tests. Each cycle was 20 hours of sunlight and 4 hours of darkness. And then they got a test lab to do a report, which they sent me a copy of, to show that there was no discoloration or visible defects. So I'm feeling pretty confident about those covers. Now, the other point that was made by this YouTuber was exposed cabling at the rear. And that was doing an example of a freestanding system. Well, in response to those concerns, I'd say that if you're installing this as most people would against a wall, the wall is its protection. So there is an opening at the rear where you can have cable entries so that it looks really tidy. But as the requirements of our wiring rules, AS/NZS 3000 state, you've still got to have appropriate protection for any exposed cables. So if you are going to freestand this unit away from a wall, you would have to come up with a solution to appropriately protect those cables at the rear. It's not a design oversight. It's actually an intentional feature to offer flexibility across a variety of applications. And when it comes to things like vermin ingress, now vermins are covered also in AS NZS 3000. You need to protect from the potential vermin ingress for the location that you're installing it. So if you're going to put this somewhere where there's possums and rats, you've got to consider those as potential vermin ingress. So you should have appropriate cable tray, as we have done. So we've got all our cables and cable tray, and if once inside the enclosure, of course, it's protected by the enclosure itself. Now, this YouTuber also kind of queried the way it was built. Now, this has got an aluminium housing. The housing has got a design life of 20 years, and it comes with, of course, a 10-year warranty. Now, there's a 5-year warranty on the gateway. Now, the gateway, which is over my shoulder here, is actually part of the product too. It comes with a 5-year warranty, extendable up to 10 years. Now, similar to LEDs, with contactors and breakers, often have shorter warranties because they're mechanical parts that can wear. They're designed to easily be replaced at minimal cost. Now, when systems are installed correctly, these parts will last for decades. For switch components, the industry standard is 2-year warranty. Many other manufacturers do not provide switch components. Customers need to purchase them separately, but SIG Energy does provide them in the gateway for you. So SIG Energy is just being transparent about those switch components. Now let's talk about the DC charger. Now over here you can see I've got a DC charger. This YouTuber was saying it's an expensive EV charger. Well, in fact, it depends what you're talking about. This is the integrated fast DC charger. So the module here, the second from the top, is a 25 kilowatt DC charger, and it's bi-directional. Yeah, so that is not just a DC charger, it's a super DC charger. That bidirectionality means that it can use your vehicle to power your home. And that's kind of industry leading. It can also export to the grid as well, but of course that'll require approvals from your DNSP as well. Now, the standard in the EV industry for, say, your standard AC charger, the cost is similar, and SIG Energy make a AC charger module as well, which, yeah, is cost competitive. So I'd say it's BS that it's an expensive charger. What else? After-sales service was being criticised because they used a company called Omidian. Now, SIG Energy has many support avenues. They have their own internal service solutions with engineers across Australia that have a huge amount of experience. They deal with pre-sales and post-sales inquiries for installers. They also have dedicated on-site technical support for installers through partners like Omidian. Now, Omidian's an Australian-based service provider with a full team of SIG Energy engineers and who are specialised in tech support. They have some of the best systems and processes in place, which allows SIG Energy to quickly scale up their support offering as they grow. Now, distributors also have hired their own dedicated SIG Energy support staff to provide yet another layer for installers. Now, it is a new company. You can't get away from that. Is it too risky though? Well, every major brand has to start with trust, and I think SIG Energy have proven themselves in the relatively short time they've been in the industry that they can grow very fast to meet demand. They are now, in Australia, by far the most popular battery system. They've overtaken everyone and in just 1 year. And that doesn't happen just because it's a cheap product, because it's actually a quality product. But there's also criticism about, well, wouldn't you rather go for the tried and proven solutions that have been in the industry for years? Well, I put it to you, innovation happens fast, and sometimes the tried and proven solutions don't keep up. Would you buy a digital camera from Kodak these days? So, the financial health of the company, they have got 1,000 employees, and that's a pretty amazing growth for a company that's only been around for a couple of years. Look, I expect them to become a major force in the world of inverters and batteries and who knows what else. I'm looking forward to the next SIG Energy product. Anyway, thanks for watching. Check it.